starting tight end, RJ at receiver, and that kind of generated a lot of buzz. Just people seeing, the two of you there together. I know we've talked about it a lot, but to see that and know that that's just kind of the approach that you guys are going with, having you both out there, how exciting is that for you?
Yeah, it's super exciting. I mean, been working for that, so it's a great honor, and I'm super happy the coaches are able to see me in that light. But at the same time, I mean, it's really just like, to me, it's just a versatility thing. I mean, me and RJ both being on the field at the same time is like, I mean, it provides so many looks and so many different threats for defenses to guard. So we really don't even get into the X's and O's of it all. We're kind of just both, playing our role, doing our position, doing the best we can. We really don't even see it like that. But it is cool. It is an honor.
You talked with Kevin yesterday. He said that the offseason felt like it's taken years. Now that the season is here, how do you make sure that the excitement doesn't take over and you're still focused on the task at hand?
Yeah, I think it really is just a matter of taking it day by day. I mean, I definitely agree with Kevin. It's felt like it's been a long time coming to get to game one, and it is just like super exciting just to be able to get out there and finally start playing against another team. But it's like the coach has said today. We got to focus on the day that we're in. Being where your feet are is a big part of that. And once you get into practice mode and you're getting those reps, like knowing why you're doing it is like a good reminder. It like keeps you grounded. Everything we do, everything we've done, the reason off season has felt so long is because we're doing our very best to get ready for these games. So I mean, that's really what it's all about. Can't take those days for granted.
How would you describe your chemistry with Kevin?
I think it's been really just growing since I got here, honestly. I got here after spring ball last year, so didn't have a ton of time. Like I had the summer and camp to sort of, build on that chemistry, really just get to know Kevin as a person, kind of get that locker room chemistry going. But now it's like, we're hanging out outside of the building. We're, playing spike ball in the locker room, things like that. So, like, just that, like, knowing him and his character, like, it's easy to be friends with him. And then, I really think, like, that sort of bond, like, that brotherhood translates to the field. And then, as far as, like, practice and everything, like, just getting those reps and, like, having that connection, over and over again and, like, building that trust has been huge. And I've hopefully I'm excited for it to show on the field on Saturdays.
How do you think, with you filling in for RJ last year, how do you think that helped prepare you for your role on the team this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really just a good opportunity for me to, take on a little bit more responsibility and, like, prove, try to, like, elevate to the role that really RJ had. I mean, RJ set the standard for tight ends here. Like, he's a dog, so he set that ceiling high, and for me it was like, we lost one of our best players. Like, now it's on me to, like, try to, like, live up to that standard and, to fill in that role and then kind of just grow from there. So, obviously it's a challenge, but, one that, I was super looking forward to, ready to prove myself. And, now having us both out there, I think it's just an opportunity for us to both raise the standard of the tight end room.
Do you feel like your relationship with RJ off the field allows you guys to be successful at the same time on the field, knowing that you're not going to be, like, super competitive over who's getting more receptions and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's all love. I'm sure if you asked him the same question, he'd say the same thing. It's never really, bad blood. Like, obviously it's like we kind of just look at it as healthy competition. We're just trying to make each other better. There's a ton of things that I take from RJ and his game and learn from, especially, having, like, being able to watch his reps in the tight end room and learn from him and, hopefully have some, bits here and there to, like, he can pick up on, like, is honestly just making us both better. So, and he was the same way even when I first got here. We've never seen having two good tight ends as a bad thing. And, really the reality is we have 4 or 5 good tight ends this year who can all see the field and fill in that role. So, having, what's good for the hive is good for the bee. I know it's corny, but, like, you have a bunch of tight ends in a room doing their own thing, and you pick up on, what people do well, what people need to work on, and everybody gets developed that way. So it's honestly great. The more good tight ends, the better. It's the way I see it.
What do you feel like as an offense or just, as a team as a whole, you need to get out of this game this weekend besides winning? Obviously, you're a pretty heavily favored in this game, and just knowing what you have coming up in the non-conference schedule.
Yeah, and it's a good question. Coach Lashley kind of touched on this too, and I totally agree with him. I think we just need to learn about ourselves. We've been playing against ourselves for so long, and getting reps against the defense who has our looks, and the defense getting looks against our offense who kind of has our playbook. Being able to go out and see who we are and what our identity is. What we do in the face of adversity, like finding ourselves and what's going to make this team a team? Like, what's our identity going to be for this year? You can obviously work on that, and that culture part is like absolutely harped on in practice and in meetings and in the locker room and things like that. But until you're out in the battle, it's like you really don't know who you are, how you're going to respond as a team. So I'm excited to see how we do, and I think we will. I think it'll be really healthy for us.
As a tight end, you have to run block, pass catch. Sometimes you even have to pass block. How do you approach the tight end position and executing and finding the balance in all those phases?
Yeah, I mean, I really sort of started off as like more of a wide tight end run blocker. Obviously, got a lot of development at Michigan. A heavy blocking team, so that kind of was a little bit more natural for me. So for me, from there, I was really just trying to, kind of complete my game and kind of become a more complete tight end, be able to get vertical, make moves at the top of my route. Like, that was a big focus in my offseason this year was like, sort of feeling more natural in my routes, feeling, second-level releases, first-level releases, fighting for the ball at the top of routes or at the point of attack, things like that. And then just, grinding on the details, man, like, when you get out into the heat of battle, you're really relying on instincts, but the more you can, focus and refine those details in practice, the less you have to think about them in the game, the more it just kind of comes naturally. So really just trying to stay polished on all of that. And, now you get into the season, it's like more about translating that into specific plays and routes and like making sure, I run the route exactly how Kevin sees it, like that sort of thing. But yeah, really just trying to maintain the details and not get lazy with that sort of thing.
There's been a lot of talk about you and RJ in the tight end room and Ahmad and Zay in the safety room, and you guys go up against each other and practice a lot. So two-part question. One, how excited are you to not go up against those two guys and for them to go up against other guys? And then two, how have you seen all of you guys raise each other's level throughout fall camp?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to not go against them and to see them against other people because yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, one-on-ones with Kobe he's calling me out for one-on-ones. We're getting it on. I got him on one today, and then 7-on-7, he gets me back today. It's like that sort of thing, and it's good. Like it's fun, but it's also like there's a seriousness to that. Like, all right, like let's lock in and take what we can from this rep and be serious and intentional. And RJ and Ahmad, I mean, they're the same way. Ahmad's a freak. The dude's a freak athlete. It's honestly annoying. But yeah, I mean. That sort of thing, like being able to get that like level of competition in practice and get those looks is like probably the best work we get as far as like being able to like make plays and refine our skills and see what we need to work on because it'll humble you real quick. Isaiah will humble you and so will Ahmad. So.
All right.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Just want to start out by asking, what have you seen from the linebacker room from the spring to fall camp to now?
Massive jumps. Everybody keeps striving to get better each week. It's a new challenge every single day, but we always approach it with the same mentality, and we keep chopping at the wood, and we're always constantly getting better.
How are you feeling just personally about kind of the opportunity you have this season? They've been really excited about your development over your first few years here, but having to kind of wait your turn in a sense a little bit behind guys like Kobe and Ahmad. How does it feel, going into this week?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I've been waiting 8 months for the season to start, and I'm just excited to get out there and go to war with my brothers. Getting to be able to play another team instead of Hibner is an amazing opportunity every week, and we only have 12 guaranteed. So.
Can you talk about the aggression that you play with and coming out of Series 1 in the game this weekend? How are you going to set the tone for the defense?
It's showing everybody, not just the people in the stadium, but outside the stadium, that we're here and we're going to stay here.
What do you need to get out of a game like this weekend, just knowing the non-conference schedule that you have?
Yes, ma'am. Keep chopping at the wood, and we keep constantly trying to get better. We have an East Texas A&M, so keep watching film, know what they want to do before they even do it by their splits and the running backs and their personnel. So we just watching film and trying to get better at the recognition.
The defensive line was a big help to the linebacker room last year. It's creating some holes. So with a lot of the new faces, it's sort of similar to my first question. What have you seen from the defensive line and their growth?
The same thing. I mean, everybody on the defense, secondary, we are all constantly trying to get better every day, day in, day out. And it's the jump from spring from summer, even from fall camp, even though it was a week and a half ago, it's better. Like, we're constantly trying to keep chopping at the wood, and we just want to keep climbing, constantly.
We have a lot of new players on defense. What's the best way to develop chemistry as a unit?
Going out, and I say that by like going to restaurants outside the facility, going to eat, going to play bowling, paintball, just anything that you can do with a team or with your teammates, like outside the facility, is always, because you get to know the person underneath the helmet, not just the player on the field.
And to go off of that a little bit, you're now one of the leaders on this defense. How are you seeing the guys around you lead, by example or vocally?
Yes, sir. Everybody's leading. They have their own way, and you see guys step up when they want to step up or need to step up, and by being vocally, or they do it by example. They set the tone at practice on special teams or in the scouts. You see freshmen like Mark, he's leading in the scouts, like he's practicing every single play and being more vocal in the scouts. You see guys leading by their own way, and it's very great to see because we're all kind of coming as our own.
Who's a player on defense right now that people may not be talking about, but after game one, they'll be talking about?
Terry Webb. No, I don't want to give too much on that one.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What?